Happy July, everyone. I'm actually just getting ready to leave the garden this morning and wanted to give you a quick tour. Here are our 2 rows of okra, which are doing very well. We actually had fried okra for dinner last night. And as you can see, we've got some more pods coming here. So I'm sure next week we'll have a bunch more to be able to tell you about. Our tomatoes are going crazy. These are pear tomatoes. They're a variation of cherry tomatoes, and they're in the shape of a pear. Let me see if I can find one that's ripe. I think I see one down here. There we go. And there are tons more coming along. Here you can see the green tomatoes in here, and this was the first one that came on the vine, and it's really big. It's probably about the size of my hand. And again, there's a lot more tomatoes. I'm sure we'll be sharing tomatoes with all of our friends here in the very near future. Here are the pumpkins, and this is the back side. I've always shown it from the front side, and you'll see here in a moment why. There are the potato towers doing very well, and we've decided we're going to cap them off for the year. That's as tall as we're going to go. Might add a little bit more dirt to a couple of them if they settle in, but they'll be ready for harvesting come fall. Now here are the pumpkins again, and I'm going to come up a little closer. You can see we've got one right there that's about the size of my head. Here's another one about the size of a softball, I would say. And then here is the one, our pride and joy, that I've been trained to take really, really good care of. And I'll come around the front side so you can see it as well. But that's the other one, and that one is bigger than the size of my head. I'll give you a better view here. So here I am on the front side of the pumpkins, and there is the youth group's raised bed. There's a tomato down here at the far end. I don't know if you can see it very well. Right there, and then of course the giant pumpkins. And here's the one I want to show you closer. This is the Swiss chard and the carrots. And I spent the better half of yesterday working on cleaning these rows up because they were pretty much overridden by the grass that's overtaken our garden. But you can see that we've got some really nice, hopefully you can see it, the carrot tops. Oh, my shadow's in the way here. You see the carrots, and there's a nice row of them that goes down, and then the Swiss chards alongside of it. So we're going to be ready to harvest some Swiss chard early next week. Here are the sunflowers, and these make me so happy. They just make me smile. They're so pretty. And it's actually kind of funny because we have some double-headed ones, and I'm not sure exactly why, but this one's not quite a double head, but a little bit deformed, and you can see the bees in there working away collecting the pollen, and it's actually really, really interesting to watch them. The kids actually love it. You can see the back of their legs are just covered, and in some instances look very much like a petal on the flower itself. So hopefully you get a good view of that. But they're very busy. Here's one of the double-headed. Oh, actually, oh my gosh, look at this one. It's 4 little heads all together. I didn't notice that before. And there's a really pretty moth perched up on the side of this one. I don't know if you can see him very well. I'll try and zoom in here. Alright, hopefully you'll get to see him. I'm not quite sure how this is translating. But look at that. Very interesting. 4 little tiny heads kind of clumped together there. Now here's a really nice looking carrot. This guy is probably, wow, he's probably at least 12 inches tall, and he's doing really well. We didn't get him any straw yesterday, so we'll probably try and clean up a little bit around it. As you can see, the grass again just kind of has overtaken the whole area here, but there's a good looking carrot right there. Now we're coming up on the Three Sisters Gardens, and as you can see, we have the 5 circular raised beds here. I hope you can get a good view of them. And in my last video, I showed you guys the differences in the infrastructure of how you know, our attempts at the Three Sisters and which ones were actually kind of on target and which ones were not. And to be perfectly honest, we don't have one that is a true success as far as the Three Sisters theory goes. However, you can see that we are getting we've got a really beautiful, that's a cucumber right there, and it's got several little babies on it, which I think I mentioned before is my favorite, so that makes me really super happy. Little tiny sunflower inside, and the green beans, which are getting devoured by the Japanese beetles, and we're trying to contain them as best we can. And this bed is doing super well as far as production with zucchinis, and there's a small sunflower trying to come up here in the center, and there are some beans wrapping around it, but again, you can see, I'm not sure if you can get a good view there, but the beans are being eaten by Japanese beetles, and we're trying a couple different methods to contain them, and I'll share that with you later. But here's more of the Three Sisters. Got a couple zucchinis coming in here that'll be ready probably sometime next week. They're very small right now, approximately 4 inches long. And there's another one down inside there. Get a good view of that one. And I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but plenty of flowers. And that indicates more to come. There's another volunteer tomato over here. And looks a little peaked, but we'll get him going. And then this zucchini here on the edge is very interesting because I really think he's got a bunny or something eating him. But there is a zucchini coming on him, so hopefully next week we'll get a zucchini out of that guy too. So that wraps it up. First day of July in the garden, and we will give you more updates as we have them. Thanks for visiting.